Hello, everybody. So I had a friend call me the other day. Actually, he was running a new study. You all know him. He's the homeopath that I talk about, who is so brilliant around the coronavirus, because homeopathy is one of the few things that can actually treat really acute illnesses before, of course, a person gets seriously ill. And also, he's just a brilliant homeopath, basically. Amongst other things too. But anyways, he called me the other day. He said, because he has people that he's worked with for 30 plus years. And he said to me, I'm just telling parents to get their kids out of school. I mean, this is crazy what they're doing with all these parents stressed out on this online learning thing. And I said to him, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they need to get their kids out of the system and homeschool in a way that they're going to enjoy, and their kids are going to get real learning. And it's going to change the family dynamics in a very positive way. And the parents can spend a lot less time during the day having to teach their children, because like homeschooling does not take 6 hours a day. It doesn't take 8 hours a day. I mean, that's what public school takes. I don't know how long these kids are staying on these online learning programs, but I know it's a long time, far more than what they need if you know how to homeschool them, if you understand the mindset of homeschooling, if you understand what they need to learn, if you understand how to teach them, all these things that are so really easy to do for a parent. And I'm talking elementary years. Obviously, high school years are a little bit different, but by the time a child reaches high school, they're able to teach themselves so much that your role as a parent changes. It becomes more managerial. When the children are young, of course, you're teaching them. Well, let me give you an example. When you teach a first grader, you're spending maybe an hour a day. That's all. Because the child doesn't have a lot of skills. You have to teach them skills, right? So it's not like 8 hours a day where you're teaching, not even 6. It's literally about an hour a day to teach them the main things that you need to teach them. You're going to have reading time. You're going to have time to go outdoors. You're going to have, arts and crafts. There's other things you're going to be doing, but the actual teaching that you need to get done, it's a very short period of time that's required of a parent. It'd be a little more for the child because they're going to do some, they'll be doing some work, right? But for you, it's just super easy. So this lady, I feel bad. Sometimes mothers leave comments, and I feel bad because I understand the situation in this country, and we're just so unsupportive of mothers with young children. And so to take a woman who has, she has an 18-month-old baby, right? And she has a second grader that she's now expected to homeschool. And she works full time. So she's expected to work for 8 hours a day at home with an 18-month-old and with a second grader that she has to homeschool. Who can do that? I mean, it's just so unrealistic to expect a mother with young children and a full-time job to do all that. It's too much. So it's just so much easier if you just say adios to the public school system and take it on yourself. You will enjoy it so much more. Now, if I were a woman in her shoes, because I'm also thinking, well, the easier thing to do is hire a nanny, hire someone to come in and help, hire, a neighborhood girl to just come in and help, right? But you can't now because everybody's locked down and, everybody's afraid, really. I mean, everybody's taking precautions, understandably so, but that's not even really an option right now. If I were in a situation where I had to work full-time from home and I was expected to homeschool my children through this kind of charter school, online school, you really have to prioritize what you're doing. And the only way that you can the easiest way to do it is just to disengage from the system. It's totally legal in all 50 states. There's a process that you have to do, which, it's something I can show you how to do. It's very easy. You're totally within your rights to homeschool your children. And then you're literally looking at a small time every day to teach a second grader or a first grader or even a third grader. It's not a lot of time. And then you're also going to change the relationship in the home. So if you have a child who's in second grade or who's in third grade, even a first grader, they can help with that 18-month-old child because the kids have been, probably in daycares and school. This relationship hasn't been established. So that's a relationship that you want to establish. So what I'm saying is that, this is a huge conversation, is that there's so many ways to work this situation. So if you're a mother who's stressed out, you can reduce your stress level significantly, create some fun and harmony in the home, get the kids doing things that are really going to improve their character. Taking care of a younger child is going to improve an older child's character. All these things are good for the kids. And, even that time that they're spent together is bonding time for siblings. So I am conveying Randy's message because I totally agree with him. It is what we should be doing, and it's what I'm trying to help people do. But, people feel like, okay, there's this concern that if I don't homeschool through the state, I'm not going to know what to do. Yes, you are going to know what to do, because that's what I do. I show you what to do. That is my life's work. So don't feel like you don't have resources. You do. You have a lot of resources. It's just a matter of mustering up the courage, being willing to just say, I'm going to do this in a way that makes sense for my family. I'm going to do this in a way where my kids are going to really learn, because they're not going to be learning on this online stuff, not to the same degree at all. And in a way that, that's enjoyable, that we've got harmony, right? And that we work together as a family to get through this period. And, my hope for a lot of you would be that you actually really enjoy it. You enjoy the lifestyle, and you see how workable it actually is, and how much more conducive towards raising wholesome, tightly knit families it is too. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you today. I have been thinking, I always feel bad for mothers. I think we've, and I'm not a feminist at all. I think it's like really hard to work full time and raise a family. It's a lot. It's just a lot. And our society is really not conducive towards really honoring motherhood and understanding that those children need those years with a mother. The Spartan Greeks, they understood that. And I did a Facebook Live about it earlier. And I'm running out of time now because I actually have to jump on somebody else's page. Let me just tell you real quick, actually. In Sparta, Greece, they removed the children from the family at age 7. Prior to that, and they did, it was military state, right? So that's a whole other story. But the point is, they waited until the child was age 7. Why? They wanted healthy people. And they knew that if that child stayed home with the family, they would be a much more emotionally rounded child. They would thrive physically, they would thrive emotionally. They're just going to end up with a better product for their state if that child spent the first 7 years at home with the family. What do we do in our country? These poor women, 2 weeks old, their child's in daycare. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard on a child. It's hard on a mother. So, things to think about. All righty. I will see you all. I'll see you all soon. Probably be back in a day or two. All right. Thank you. And share this with friends. And for those of you who are new here, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Elizabeth Hanson. I run Smart Homeschooler. And what I do is I teach parents how to raise their children. So I have a whole program for those first 7 years, everything you want your children doing so that you can maximize their potential in all areas. And that also prepares them for academic learning. And then around age 7, they move into, it's age 6 or 7, then they move into hopefully homeschooling. And that's what I teach parents to do. But I teach parents to homeschool in a way that really makes sense. And the kids are going to get a good education, and you're going to have fun teaching them. So it's just a very different approach. And based on time-tested methods too, it's kind of not this new stuff. It's things that have worked to raise highly intelligent people, which is really what we're in shortage of. Not that we don't have intelligent people, we just don't have people with well-trained minds anymore. And that's really what we need. So, all righty. So share this with friends if you have anybody who's struggling with this situation. If you want to homeschool and you want to do it in a much more interesting way, a much more productive way, a much more efficient way, and a much funner way, then stay with me. That's what I do. All right. I will talk to you later. Bye.